Hi, welcome back for part 3 of our Triple S Saturdays. Let's get into it. And yeah, so imagine like your whole apartment is like burned up like this. And so we're like, obviously it was a gas leak, and the only reason we know is because she was having that physical reaction to it. And I'm like, and also it blew the freaking balcony off and busted the door open, a security door, which the amount of force that it would take to do that, we're like, come on now. So anyway, we had to leave because the fire department, we were telling them like, that she got ill earlier. We were like trying to show them her arm, and he was like, yeah, you need to go to a hospital, like get a medical report, blah, blah, blah. And so we decided to go to this international hospital. I do not remember the name of it. I just know it was in Southern Korea, near-ish where we lived. And we went to the international hospital because we figured if we go to an international hospital, people will speak English more readily than trying to find someone to translate for us. And so we get to the hospital, and at first everything is going like really well, whatever. And the doctor that we got was a young Korean man. And he was like, oh, this is carbon monoxide poisoning. This is this. He's like explaining in like perfect English to us and telling us like he's going to get her in a hospital bed because he wants to put her on a bit of oxygen just to make sure her lungs are okay. All this like whole thing. He had like a whole plan ready for her, right? So he sends her to the front little counter to sign in and, give insurance card, blah, 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 so he can get a bed ready in the ER for her. And we're like, cool. Thank you. Like so much. Somebody's actually listening to us is the way we are thinking. Right. But I am a fighter for my people. Like I am one of those friends that is like, you're going to listen to my friend. You're going to this, you're going to that. You know what I mean? But when I saw he was listening to her, I just kind of like backed off a little bit. I was like, okay, she's a grown up. He took her in the back and started talking to her alone. And I was like, she's a grown up. She can, handle it. I don't need to do the fighting because there's nothing wrong right now. Right. So then I'm just in the waiting room waiting. And so at this point, it's already been an hour or so after the whole, explosion and whatever. And so it's on the news. And this man, it was such a shocking thing to me, personally, that the me now, I probably would have, I don't know about suing the hospital, but I don't know how it would have worked in Korea. But I do know the shift came so fast and so just like violently. It was crazy. So this young doctor went from being so like, we're going to help you. We're going to do this. Here's a plan. We're so sorry this happened to you. Blah, 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 to him going in the back and seeing the news because like, in the ER, the doors like slide open and close. Right. So I'm watching because he's talking to my friend in a nearby way. So I'm just kind of like peeking around. I see them talking. I see him look up at the TV, and the TV is playing the same thing as it is in the waiting room. And it is talking about her apartment. I see her apartment on TV, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, though, based off what I've heard from my Korean friends at the time that also saw the news report, basically the news was blaming her for the explosion. They said that she had a can of mosquito repellent next to an open flame, and that's what caused the explosion in the house. And I'm like, and then the crazy part is they got this from seeing a small like spray can, like one, like an off bottle that you would like stick in your purse kind of thing. It was on the floor. Like, so everything is already blown up. When they came in and they're taking photos of everything, the mosquito repellent can was somewhere on the floor in the house. Like, I don't even remember it being on the table. And she also said it wasn't on the table because she was like, that was actually in my bag. But like I said, when everything blew up, things got shook around and, thrown out. And she was like, that wasn't even on the table. So and also, even if the mosquito repellent was next to the candle, the force to blow out my balcony would not come from a can this small. Are you serious right now? Anyway, he saw this accusing her of not being an arsonist, but like being negligent, essentially. He wouldn't take care of her anymore. He gave her this like cream to put on her arm and was like, okay, you can go. She was like, I thought you said you were going to put me on oxygen and whatever else. Like he had this whole plan for her. He's like, oh, no, you're okay. The welts are going away. You're okay. We don't have to do all that. Like he shifted so quickly just because the news was like her apartment blew up. Like he didn't even ask her if it was her apartment. Like I was like, did he even ask you? She was like, no, he assumed it was me. And he saw this and the news said it was a foreigner. He was just 2 and 2 together and it must be you. It must be your fault. So I'm not going to take care of you because you burned up your apartment. And it made me go back to that thinking when she was like that her mom put a curse on her. So bad things always happen. Because I was like, you as a doctor, even if you saw that, you should still take care of your patient. Like, you don't know if these two have anything to do with each other. Like, you know what I mean? And so basically they made us leave. They made us leave the hospital. He was like, there's nothing else I can do for you. Here's some cream for your welts. You can go. We were like, me, H, and K were all like stunned. That man, his behavior switched so like rapidly. We were all completely shocked. It was crazy. So, then we leave the hospital and everything and we head back to, we head back to her apartment and everything, trying to like, I told her she could just like spend the night with me. My apartment was super, super small, like definitely not enough room for 2 people anyway. But, friendship is friendship, right? I'm like, you can come, you can stay with me until we figure out in the morning. Cause it's like super late at this time. Like there's nothing else we can do right now. And then the icing on the cake was the reason why, we come to find out, like, this is all hearsay. Like I have not seen official reports. This is what Kay's school, like liaison, whatever, translated to her based off what she found out, because she was like, we're worried about you. We need to get you a new apartment, blah, blah, blah. So in Korea, a lot of times the school will pay for your housing. So they are also like trying to figure out what happened, whatever. So that's the reason why we heard the story. Okay. Anyway. So basically I'm saying that to say I'm not accusing anyone. This is what we have heard. Anyway. So the liaison told her that basically they come to find out that the reason why the whole mosquito can thing was on the news is because the landlord, the actual owner of the apartment, could not get insurance money if it's proven that he or the gas company was negligent in like checking the gas on time, because there's like a schedule, right? So you're not supposed to postpone these things. You're supposed to be like, you need to be home, or the landlord needs to like open the door so the gas company can come in to like check the gas, because it's a hazard. It's a health hazard, as you can see. And so anyway, so basically in order for him to get the insurance money to fix the apartment, he had to blame it on her. And so she's like, but that makes me look like I've done something wrong when I didn't. And they were like, just let it go. Because if you keep fighting it, then maybe he can sue you or sue us because we rented the apartment for you to live there. It was a whole thing. And I was just like baffled. Like, so whoever's negligence, not Kay's negligence at all, because she just lives there. This is not her job. She's not the gas company, turned into this whole thing about foreigners need to keep mosquito cans away from candles and blah, blah, blah. It was a whole thing. We were like, for real? It wasn't even based on truth. And now everybody's looking at us like foreigners don't know how to live. You know what I mean? And so anywho, after that, they wound up finding her a new apartment, everything like that. And a couple of apartments told the school no, because they had also heard the story about the apartment being blown up. I was like, how do y'all keep putting two and two together? But again, it goes back to this whole thinking of her mom's a witch and she put a curse on her. So bad things happen to her. And I was like, no, it can't be like that. But the more I got to know her over the course of that year, the more I was like, my life has gotten exponentially crazier since I met you. Like, it was like things that have never happened to me. Like, that I don't even exist in the realm of these, like, happenings, if that makes sense. But when I was with her, things would happen like that. And I was like, yo, I feel like I'm in legitimate danger sometime when I'm with you. And that makes no sense. Like, for me, like, I am not like a overly religious person, but I am like a spiritual Christian, right? So for me, I just be like, I I don't know. So thank goodness nothing horrible happened to any of us while we were together. But the trajectory of the way our friendship was going was turning out to be kind of dangerous. And I was like, oh, I don't live like that, girl. You know? But yeah, so yeah, that's how I almost got blown up in Korea. So yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me for episode 1 of our Salacious Shenanigan Storytime Saturdays, our SSS Saturdays. I will do either once or twice a month. I don't know, because I have other video series also coming out. Like, I have Foodie Friday every Friday. Each month I have another video series of a topic about living abroad, like this. So that's a lot of editing. And I have also like work and everything like that going on. So yeah. But yeah, thank you for joining me. And then I will let you guys know when the next episode will come out. I will do like a promotion on the Instagram or whatever. And yeah, see y'all next time. Bye.